Let's be honest, there's a side of women that rarely, if ever, gets spoken about. The kind of desires that linger quietly in their minds. The impulses that tease their curiosity, but never see the light of day. And the truth is, most men never even come close to understanding these hidden cravings. Not because women are mysterious for the sake of being mysterious, but because society has conditioned both of you to play a careful game. Polite smiles, safe conversations, and endless rules about what's acceptable. But under that surface, there's an unspoken code, a set of secret signals that when you learn them, changes the way you connect with women forever. It's unsettling in a way to realize that the things women want most from you aren't about flowers, fancy dinners, or generic compliments. They're about raw connection, subtle dominance, emotional intelligence, and the courage to do things that scare most men. And here's the kicker. Even when they crave it, they rarely admit it. Because vulnerability is dangerous. Because revealing desire can feel like surrender. And yet, these dirty little truths are exactly what can make a woman see you differently in ways you can feel but rarely explain. I want you to imagine something for a moment. A woman's mind layered like a labyrinth. Some corridors are light and easy to explore. Laughs, casual chats, the surface level stuff you're used to. But deeper inside, there's a shadowed wing. This is where her true wants live. And it's not dark in a bad way. It's intense, magnetic, and intoxicating. If you've ever wondered why some men seem to get women effortlessly while others are left frustrated, it's because they've learned to navigate this hidden wing. They know how to speak the language of subtle dominance without cruelty. They know how to tease, challenge, and satisfy curiosities that women can't openly voice. And when you can do this, when you understand it, the dynamic changes completely. But here's the truth most men never hear. It's not about doing grand gestures or trying to impress. It's about precision. It's about emotional calibration. One wrong move, one misread cue, and everything falls flat. But one precise, well-timed action, subtle, bold, and confident, can ignite a fire she won't even admit exists. The psychology behind it is deep. Women crave being seen in a way that transcends the everyday. They want a man who sees through the layers, who senses the tension and mystery, who dares to act in alignment with their unspoken needs. And yet most men play it safe, afraid of crossing invisible lines. The ones who succeed, they understand that the unspoken desires, the dirty little things, are actually invitations to intimacy, power, and connection that are far more compelling than anything polite conversation can offer. Now, what if I told you that by learning just 7 specific things, 7 small but psychologically powerful actions, you could tap into these hidden desires without ever forcing a word out of her mouth? Actions that feel natural, respectful, but irresistible. And the deeper truth is that she's been waiting for it more than she even realizes. The question is, are you ready to see beyond the polite exterior? Are you ready to step into a new level of awareness where understanding her mind gives you influence, attraction, and connection that most men only dream of? Because this isn't a trick or a gimmick. It's a science of human desire. And when applied correctly, it will shift the way women respond to you permanently. One of the most powerful things a woman secretly craves is a man who takes control, but not in a loud, aggressive way. I'm talking about subtle, confident dominance, the kind that makes her feel safe, desired, and intrigued all at once. Most men think dominance means being loud, commanding, or overbearing. That's the misconception. The truth is far more sophisticated. Women are drawn to men who can lead without needing permission, who act with quiet authority and emotional intelligence. It's not about control for control's sake. It's about creating an energy that makes her lean in mentally and emotionally because she feels you see her in a way no one else does. Imagine a scenario. A woman testing boundaries subtly, texting late at night, teasing or dropping a playful challenge. A typical man might overreact, joke too much, or try to impress. But the man who understands the unspoken rules, he reads the nuance, responds with measured intent. And suddenly she's intrigued. She feels tension, anticipation, even a spark of fear that is safe and exciting. That's what makes her heart race. That's the thrill of hidden desire. And it's not just a game. It's the chemistry of power and attraction at its rawest. Women want to feel that a man can navigate these currents with skill, that he's unshakable, that his confidence creates an unspoken promise of intensity. But it's deeper than that. Women crave emotional risk. Women crave emotional risk. They want to feel something real, something that shakes the monotony of everyday life. That's why small, calculated acts, a certain tone in your voice, a well-timed silence, or even a casual, unexpected decision can trigger emotions she won't admit openly. It's the psychology of anticipation. When you make her wait just enough, when you balance push and pull with precision, she starts craving your presence, your energy, your approval. And here's the secret most men never realize. She wants the push, the challenge, the subtle tension. It's what makes her desire you in ways that words cannot create. Let's dive even deeper. Women secretly enjoy the unpredictability of a man who isn't afraid to stir her emotions. Not to manipulate, but to awaken the hidden parts of her mind that are bored, complacent, or restrained by social rules. She wants to feel your power, your focus, your decisiveness. And she wants it in moments that feel private, intimate, and electric. The unspoken permission to act in ways society says are forbidden. That's a secret magnet. And when you master this balance, when you provide that tension responsibly, she notices, she respects it, and most importantly, she desires it without ever having to say a word. So here's the takeaway. The first dirty secret women crave isn't about physical intimacy or grand gestures. It's about mental dominance, emotional courage, and precise timing. It's about showing her that you are capable of holding space for intensity, unpredictability, and subtle control. And once you grasp this, every interaction, every glance, every touch, every word becomes charged with a hidden current. The question is, can you do this without breaking her trust, without being reckless, but still igniting the fire she secretly wants? That's the mark of a man who understands female psychology on a deeper level. One of the most shocking things you'll discover about women is how much they crave unpredictability paired with security. It sounds like a contradiction, but that's the nature of hidden desire. She wants a man who can excite her, challenge her, and make her heart race. But she also wants to know deep down that she can rely on him. Most men fail here because they confuse consistency with boredom. They think stability means being predictable, routine, safe. But the truth is far more magnetic. Women secretly want a man who is a mix of rock-solid presence and thrilling spontaneity. That tension, that unpredictable stability is addictive to her subconscious. Picture this, a woman texting you casually. Some men respond immediately. Others overthink. Some ignore. But the man who understands, he responds in a way that is deliberate, slightly unexpected, yet always reliable. He creates a rhythm she can sense but can't fully predict. That's not manipulation. It's subtle mastery of emotional chemistry. She feels drawn to him because he triggers curiosity, anticipation, and excitement without making her feel insecure. And that, my friend, is the sweet spot most men never learn to hit. Now let's explore a deeper layer. Women secretly crave initiative that respects boundaries. They want a man who takes action, not because he's controlling, but because he's confident enough to navigate social cues and emotional nuance. Initiatives like planning a spontaneous date, sending a playful challenge, or suggesting a moment of adventure. These aren't just gestures. They are signals that you see her desires before she even admits them. That's potent. That's intoxicating. It's the type of psychological pull that creates magnetic attraction. And the irony, most men are terrified to act, fearing rejection or social judgment. Yet that exact hesitation is what keeps women from feeling the spark they secretly crave. There's also a darker, more intimate aspect. Women are drawn to men who can handle intensity emotionally, mentally, and sometimes physically. They want to be tested in safe, controlled ways, not because they enjoy conflict, but because they crave the thrill of a challenge that awakens desire and deepens trust simultaneously. That's why small, precise acts like holding her gaze a moment too long, teasing with subtle restraint, or initiating a playful but firm boundary can ignite emotions she's never verbalized. It's a dance of tension and release that most men stumble over, but when mastered, it transforms ordinary interactions into unforgettable experiences. And here's the unspoken truth. Women don't want you to be perfect. They want you to be compelling. They want someone who makes choices, who navigates uncertainty with confidence, and who understands that attraction is not a script. It's a psychological art form. That's why unpredictability, when balanced with reliability, becomes one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. She notices it even if she never says it. She responds to it even if she acts indifferent. And once you understand this, you can create tension. They want a man who can switch between calm assurance and passionate intensity, who can read the room and react in ways that are emotionally stimulating without being chaotic. That unpredictability, carefully measured, is intoxicating because it mirrors the hidden layers of her own mind. She subconsciously craves this push and pull, this mixture of challenge and affirmation, because it makes her feel alive in ways routine interactions never will. And here's the profound insight. Physical attraction is only the surface. The real pull comes from psychological mastery, the ability to provoke emotions, awaken curiosity, and respond to unspoken signals. When a man taps into these hidden desires, he creates a magnetic energy that draws her closer, even when she's trying not to admit it. She feels it. She thinks about it. And often she wonders why she's suddenly so drawn to you. Even when the interaction was subtle, almost invisible to the casual observer. So the lesson is this. Women secretly crave a man who can navigate intensity with precision, awaken hidden desires, and make her feel understood and alive, all without her needing to say a word. That's the kind of power, presence, and psychological finesse that separates men who are forgettable from men who are unforgettable. The question is, can you step into that level of awareness, that subtle mastery, and wield it responsibly? Because once you do, attraction becomes a natural consequence of who you are, not something you have to chase or force. Understanding these hidden desires isn't just about attracting women, it's about mastering yourself. Women secretly crave men who are confident, emotionally intelligent, and unapologetically aware of their own power. They want someone who can navigate tension, read subtle cues, and act with precision. And here's the truth most men never hear. This level of attraction isn't earned through luck, charm, or superficial gestures. It's earned through awareness, presence, and the courage to act in alignment with truths most men are too afraid to confront. The 7 secret desires we've explored, the craving for subtle dominance, unpredictability, emotional synchronization, psychological tension, and the awakening of hidden impulses are all connected by one thread. Women want to feel alive with a man who truly sees them. That doesn't mean controlling them. It doesn't mean manipulating them. It means understanding the hidden currents of desire and acting with integrity, timing, and intelligence. When you can do this consistently, you don't just attract women, you create experiences they will remember, crave, and seek out. Here's the deeper insight. These desires exist because women are human. They have layers, contradictions, and impulses society tells them to suppress. But suppression only makes desire stronger. A man who can acknowledge this, who can hold space for both intensity and comfort, becomes magnetic. He becomes the man who sparks curiosity, longing, and emotional tension without ever forcing it. Most men fail here because they overthink, overcompensate, or play it safe. The men who succeed, they act deliberately with confidence and in tune with the unspoken language of attraction. And here's the most powerful part. This knowledge is a tool, not a weapon. Use it carelessly, and you risk crossing boundaries. Use it with precision and respect, and you create connection that transcends the ordinary. Women crave that. They want a man who can hold space for their secret desires without judgment, who can stir excitement while providing emotional security, who can awaken curiosity without overstepping. That combination is irresistible because it speaks to both the mind and the body, the conscious and the subconscious. So here's the question for you. If you take these 7 hidden desires and apply them deliberately, how much more magnetic, confident, and unforgettable could you become? Take a moment to calculate your own potential, not in theory, but in real-life interactions. And then think about this. Which one of these desires could you start mastering today that would make her feel more connected to you, more intrigued by you, and more alive around you than ever before? I want you to answer this in the comments below. Be honest with yourself. And if you found this video eye-opening, share it with a friend who needs to hear these truths. Like the video, subscribe for more insights into female psychology, and share the energy of this knowledge. Because understanding these hidden truths doesn't just change how women see you,